Shonen, an undeniable staple that is arguably the most influential genre of the manga and anime sphere. In its long existence, it has borne some of the Goliaths of the industry. Naruto leading the formula, Gintama comedy, and JoJo the battle of the week. But today, ours leads differently, and with it, a new wave as well. Chainsaw Man is shonen done right without the fluff, luring you in only to be subverted by something much deeper. If you've been within, 5 meters of the manga and anime community lately, you've no doubt heard mention of Chainsaw. With its anime announcement preview gaining more attention than Attack on Titan, the first part of this review will be spoiler-free, but be warned for this. Chainsaw Man is Fujimoto's second work, following the existential suffering that was Fire Punch. Taking on an entirely different approach, Fujimoto hits us with a deceptively familiar yet warped premise. We follow a kid named Denji, whose mother passes away from disease, and father leaving him with a staggering amount of debt. Denji has to pay back that debt the next day, or else be cut to pieces by the Yakuza and sold. He meets a devil.
They're being spawned from the fears and the hatreds of human beings. For example,
I freaking hate making this video!
And is ready to face his death, only to find that the little guy isn't in the best of shape himself. They make a deal with Denji using Pochita to hunt devils and pay back his debt in exchange for saving his life. While he isn't immediately put to death, he is still taken advantage of. He lives on a slice of bread a day, even selling his left testicle to keep up. One day, the loan sharks sacrifice Denji and Pochita as an offering to their devil. Their blood running cold, Pochita makes one last contract and becomes Denji's heart, letting him become the Chainsaw Man in exchange for showing Pochita his dreams. After fighting his way through hordes of zombies like it's the dawn of the dead, he's met by Makima, our mentor of sorts, allowing him to join the public devil safety division and earn his first shot at a normal life. Okay, all pretty classic stuff so far. Our dumb protagonist gets some superpower, cool mentor shows up, and now we can expect at least 100 chapters of filler training arc, right? Well, in case brutally killing the main character in their opening chapter wasn't telling enough, Chainsaw Man does away with all of that brutally and systematically. No complicated power scaling, no tournament arcs, no school melodrama, no garbage. It hits like a breath of high-octane gasoline, killing all of my neurons in a brain-dead speedrun that overturns the very conventions that are the foundations of the genre. Instead of a goody two-shoes, self-insert protagonist, Denji has been on that grind since day one. A true Sigma male, he has no concept of morals or ethics, because he doesn't freaking need them. He does what he needs to do to get that gem on toast, baby. One of my favorite fights is with the Eternity Devil, where Denji uses his 1 million IQ to win himself a Nobel Peace Prize for creating a perpetual motion machine. Instead of being absent-minded just for laughs, Denji's aloofness is understandable, as he has just been drifting through life like a lost dog, doing whatever it takes to make ends meet. Instead of those 12 to the 7 filler episodes, Fujimoto has the balls to make a story end. What author has concluded an arc as if it were an entire, complete story? All of this is brought to life by a crisp and expressive art style that can only be criticized if you expect anime to look anime, I guess. The inspired corporate theme has a certain seductiveness to it, and the action is clean and easy to follow. Look at these dynamic panel layouts. Spoiler warning ahead. If you thought I was just going to recommend some manga to read while your brain was off or something, you're wrong. I just executed all your loved ones and destroyed modern society as you know it. Just when Denji barely achieves his dream of living a bare minimum life, it is torn barren once again. Makima, our mentor, is more like an authority on Denji's life, revealing that she has been orchestrating this fabrication of normality to break Pochita and Denji's contract and summon the true Chainsaw Man. Fujimoto handles this existential dread in a nuanced way, bringing it about in a more relatable manner because we have this familiar premise, through which we saw Denji growing. Following this twist, there are tons of metaphors and visual clues that come back to the mind, all in a way that make Makima's actions line up and somehow even a bit justifiable. Best girl, by the way. In addition, I'm a sucker for social commentary. As Makima is the control devil, all the other characters represent something from a narrative standpoint. And like the Gregorian devils, you get to ponder the cornucopia of eternal concepts that are introduced. All of this deeper philosophizing wouldn't work without the enticing and overarching plot to keep it in check. And no, you don't get to see your loved ones again. They're all dead. But hopefully the hype makes sense now. I would still encourage you to read it anyway, because the anime won't be able to cover the first arc without cutting out lots of parts and detract from the original pacing, leaving Denji with, less development. The manga has definitively spawned a new wave of manga though, so after you're done, you can read these, specifically Dan Da Dan and Ayashimon, which are both good in their own right. Check them out later. Peace!